वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः। एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः। मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यमव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्। सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धया ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः। क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषामव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवद्भिर्वाप्यते। ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परा अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धरता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्। मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः। अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय। अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि। अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्। श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानात् ध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्। अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी। सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैर्मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः। अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः। समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयो शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समः सङ्गविवर्जितः। तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेता स्थिरमतिर्भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः। ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्दधाना मत्परमा भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियाः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्।
उपस्थित भगवत भक्तों के रूप में मेरी अपनी ही आत्माओं श्रीमद् भगवद गीता भगवान के मुखार बिंद से निकली हुई अमर वाणी है और जो भी जीव श्रद्धा सहित इस अमर वाणी को धारण करता है वो जीवत्व को छोड़कर ईश्वरत्व की प्राप्ति करता है, इसमें कोई संशय नहीं है। ये जीवात्मा चाहे जिस देश में रहे और चाहे जिस भेष में रहे, गीता सबका सब काल में समान रूप से कल्याण करने वाला एक अनुपम एवं अलौकिक ग्रंथ है। इस उपदेश को सृष्टि के आरंभ से ही सुनाया गया था। सबसे पहले इस उपदेश को सुनने वाले सूर्य नारायण थे, फिर मनु महाराज हुए, फिर इक्ष्वाकु महाराज हुए। इस प्रकार परंपरा से चलता हुआ ये गीता ज्ञान द्वापर युग में कई लाख वर्षों के बाद फिर से भगवान कृष्ण ने अर्जुन को सुनाया था।
Sadguru Tam Namami. Sadguru Tam Namami.
भगवद गीता विश्वास सहित नर पढ़ता और पढ़ाता है। प्रभु दर्शन कर परिवार सहित सागर से तर जाता है। इसलिए सदा सत्संग करो, सद नियम भंग मत कभी करो। भगवान तुम्हारे अंदर है, जित नाम हरि का लिया करो। गीता विश्वास सहित नर पढ़ता और पढ़ाता है। प्रभु दर्शन कर परिवार सहित सागर से तर जाता है। इसलिए सदा सत्संग करो, इसलिए सदा सत्संग करो। सद नियम भंग मत कभी करो। भगवान तुम्हारे अंदर है, नित नाम हरि का लिया करो। भगवद गीता विश्वास सहित नर पढ़ता और पढ़ाता है। प्रभु दर्शन कर परिवार सहित सागर से तर जाता है। इसलिए सदा सत्संग करो, इसलिए सदा सत्संग करो। सद नियम भंग मत कभी करो। भगवान तुम्हारे अंदर है, नित नाम हरि का लिया करो।
भगवद गीता विश्वास सहित नर पढ़ता और पढ़ाता है। प्रभु दर्शन कर परिवार सहित भव सागर से तर जाता है। इसलिए सदा सत्संग करो, इसलिए सदा सत्संग करो। सत नियम भंग मत कभी करो। भगवान तुम्हारे अंदर है, नित नाम हरि का लिया करो। You can now gently and slowly open your eyes and know that you are a unique and beautiful spiritual being of pure consciousness, and all you have to do is to shine brightly, and you'll be helping the world and the universe. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev Maharaj, Jai Geeta Mata. Stay blessed.
Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanooramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. A very warm welcome to you. Having said that, I would like to hand it over to Guru Bhai Joshiji. Joshiji, over to you.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. This evening. Last week I promised a little clip from Yanuvananji's New Year message. I'll try to play it. If it doesn't come on the screen, we will be able to hear him. So it's about 5 minutes or so. So please afford me that time. So let me have the screen. But if you don't see the picture, actually you will be able to see him, hear him. Can you see him?
Yes.
Okay, lovely.
Happy New Year to all of you. Say thank you. Every day is a New Year day. New Year day is the day when we start afresh. All that has happened in the past, from that we learn and continue to live further. There are two things from the past that we carry. One is the wisdom and second is the boredom. So those who are carrying the boredom with them, they are the most miserable people in this world. And those who carry wisdom with them, they are the most happy people in the world. See, a wise person is never miserable, and an otherwise person is never happy. See, therefore, we have to change our understanding about life. And for that, we have this mantra which I just played. When we say life is a time pass, what exactly it means? See, you all must have done it with your children, that sometime you have to play with them for some reason. So we, the elders, are playing with the children, not to win or to get defeated, but just to keep the child engaged so that the wife or the mother can do the work at home. Otherwise, those kids eat the head. So then we tell, hey, come on, let's play carom or let's play chess. And the child is interested. Now he wants to win and defeat us. But our attention is, till the food is ready, keep him engaged. And therefore, victory or defeat is not our understanding of life. See, friends, therefore, live life for the joy of living, not for winning or getting defeated. See, friends. And for that, the mantra tells us very easily. It's not difficult. Life is thode gam hai, thodi khushiyan, ye jeevan hai. Everybody has some joy, some miseries. There is no option. The only option is Accept it cheerfully or accept it miserably. Acceptance or non-acceptance is not our choice. Like day comes, then the day goes. Night comes, the night goes. We have no choice. Accept it. In the same manner, all the complementary opposites, joy, sorrows, victory, defeat, friend, enemy, loss, gain, they are bound to be together. In this world, everything is in pairs. There is nothing in this world singular. See? Now, if this is the fabric of this world, the only option is accept it cheerfully or accept it miserably. Whether we accept or not is not the choice. Choice is happily or miserably. See? These days, through immigration, when you go, there are not many forms to be filled in. Earlier, in every country, wherever we are moving, they will be giving you immigration form. And you have to write so many things. And there is to be a questionnaire. Are you carrying a lot of money with you? Are you a member of a terrorist organization? Do you have destroying material in your bags? So many things. And you are given choice, yes and no. So you tick mark. No, 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 you are through. The choice is given exactly the same way. When we were entering this world, Bhagwan Sri Krishna, here Bhagwan Narayana. See, we have got various places, various gods, so we are not short of gods. So Bhagwan Narayana gave us immigration form. And he said, Anityam Asukham Lokam Imam Prapya. You are now entering Anityam, temporary, Asukham, miserable world. Anityam Asukham Lokam Imam Prapya. You are entering the temporary and miserable world. Yes. Question is asked, do you want to be miserable? And options are given, yes and no. Those who have tick mark yes, they are given sufficient miseries, continue to be miserable. And those who have tick mark no, even God cannot make them miserable because you have not chosen to be miserable. Friends, today we all must make this firm resolution. Don't justify you are miserable. Who doesn't have miseries in life? Everybody. There is none in this world who doesn't have miseries. Yes, there is one. What is that? Dead body. So if you are having problems, miseries, congratulate, you are still alive. See? Begin your new year. Don't talk about your miseries to anybody in this world. So simple. Who doesn't have problems in this life? Don't make people miserable by spreading your miseries abundantly. No. See?
Thank you very much. I hope you liked it. So I will close that one now. So Swami Anubhavanandaji, frequent visitor in Geeta town, very respectable, very humorous, and Dr. Prasad must have been, of course, he has been there 3 times while I was there, and Dr. Prasad has been always there. So I got this message, and he talked basically everything from Bhagavad Gita. So I thought I should play it right time. So thank you for this. I've taken 5 minutes of Kapur Saab's or Prasadji's time, so please see if you can accommodate. I request Kapur Saab, please take it now. Thank you very much. Yes, Krishna. Kabul Sahib.
Thank you, Joshi ji. Thank you, Peter ji, Prasad ji, Geeta ji. It's a divine opportunity to come to this platform and share some subtle thoughts on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanur Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum Gita Shastvidham Punyam Yapatet Priyata Puman Vishnu Padam Vaproti Bhai Shoka Devardita Gita Adhyan Shilasya Pranayam Parasya Cha Naiva Santi Hi Papani Purvajanam Anija Om Brakatunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvadha Om Brakatunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvadha Om Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Paraso Yadbhadram Tanyaso Om Harinya Garbha Sambratatagre Bhutasya Yata Patirekayasi Sadadhar Prithvi Dhyamute Mam Kasmai Deva Yahavisha Vidhema Om Ya Atmada Balada Yasya Vishwa Upasate Prashisham Yasya Deva Yasya Chaya Amritam Yasya Mrityu Kasmai Deva Yahavisha Vidhema. By the invocation of these divine mantras from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we are seeking the world peace. There's a lot of things going on, and seek the blessing of the Almighty Bhagavan Sri Krishna to have mercy on this planet. Today, I just want to share with you utmost humility the thought embedded in Kim Tad Brahma, Kim Adhyatmam, Kim Karma Purushotmam, Adibhutam Cha Kim Proktam, Adidevam Kim Uchate. Usually there is a one question and one answer, but this particular verse, Arjuna, the warrior par excellence, he is asking 5 questions in one verse, and that is the beauty. Usually he didn't do that. So let us analyze why he is so interested to know that. In our own day-to-day parlance, we Kim Tat Brahma, and Lord Krishna said, Aksharam Brahma. So now it has double meaning. Aksh means Ankh, eye. Whatever is visible with naked eye, that is Brahm. But that is the literal meaning. The wisdom which is in between the line is this whole Srishti, visible or invisible, it is Brahma. It is Brahm. And the other meaning of Akshar means, Kshar means, which is perishable. Akshar means, which is not perishable, which is permanent. So anything permanent in this universe is Brahm. So now we get the broader meaning that visible world is Brahm and it is Nashma. Pal pal chin chin. ये चेंज होती है. चेंज मीन दोबारा आने में बहुत टाइम लग जाता. आती तो है. Every year it happens. So what is the knowledge with this information? That don't depend upon the assets which you have collected. They are all perishable. They are all perishable. They will perish. Whether you want it or you don't want it. But they will go away. But don't invest too much time and energy and resources in collecting those things which are perishable anyway. So invest your investment, which is permanent. Akshar, jiska nash nahi hota. And that is the only one thing. The name of Almighty Bhagwan Shri Krishna, the cosmic energy, the divine power. Investment should be there. The other day we discussed that our body is made of 8 elements and they are all perishable. Pal pal chin chin change ho rahe hain. And the wisdom in chapter 2 is that we are not the bodies. So that is a very divine information. And but we don't practice that. We have the information, but we don't practice that thought. We should start doing that. Don't depend upon. Take care of your body, but don't attach yourself. And whatever we create with this body, those are all attachments. All. Until and unless we divert our resources and investment in Atam Darshani, in Atma, Jivatma, which is the integral part of Paramatma, until and unless we unite ourselves with that divine energy, we are spiritually talking, wasting our time. So this is what the first question is, Kim Tat Brahma? And Bhagwan Shri Krishna said, Aksharam Brahma. Second information is, Kim Tat Brahma, Kim Adhyatam. What is Adhyatam? Adhyatam is the self-realization, self-study. And in this portfolio, 2 things come. 3, actually. Who am I? Why am I here? And what is my mission? We don't know. We live on this planet without any information. अंदाजे से जी के चले जाते हैं, पल्ले कुछ नहीं पड़ता. But this is vital information for the growth of the spiritual discipline. We must challenge ourselves, question ourselves. Who am I? And what is my mission on this planet? This whole celestial setup where there are billions and trillions of stars and galaxies and nebulas moving around with the speed of light, and this little thing is hanging, this planet on which we are crowded, 7.8 billion people. So what is my mission? Why I am here? And where I will go? This is self-realization, self-study. And until and unless we take the refuge, we submit ourselves to the wisdom of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Sadguru, not Guru, Sadguru, who can lead to overcome this doubt and give you the information, because they have gone through that path. So this information is extremely important for spiritual growth. Who am I? Why I am here? And where I will go. This is called self-realization. We are just touching brushing aside little things because time constraint. Third is Kim Tat Brahma, Kim Adhyatma, Kim Karma. Anything and everything what we do on this planet is a karma. But according to the fine-tuned wisdom of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, they classified there are three types of karma: karam, akaram, vikaram. The intent and motive of your action will decide the quality of these three categories. What you are doing. Are you doing karam, akaram, vikaram? It is tagged to the intent and motive of your action. So be mindful when you initiate any action. What is your intent and what is your motive? Because that will put your action into these three categories: karam, akaram, vikaram. Karam is selfish actions. Anything and everything what we do under the kingdom of I-ness, which is ego, they are all karma and they are subject to fruits and punishments. It is the law, it is the dharma, this is the value system. It cannot be changed. No guru, no sadguru can diminish that, the implication of that action. They can lead you, but you have to go through it. You did it, you have to pay the price. There is no free lunch. Sometimes we get into the trap that Guruji will do something. No, Guruji can lead you, tell you, but you have to do it yourself. God helps those who help themselves. So in the realm of I-ness, whatever we do, that is a karma, in legal parlance also, and subject to punishment and reward. Then akaram, when there is no doership, you are doing for God, by God, and of God. Everything for God. When we do that state of mind, you require a state of mind, of sattvic state of mind, otherwise it will not be accomplished. And the other day we discussed in detail the ingredients hidden in sattvic state of mind. The litmus test is you got to be selfless state of mind, mode of mind. You have to be compassionate. You have to be empathetic. And stay away from the concept of doership. So that way, that will lead you to the maturity of spirituality. And you will become the integral part of the divine power, which is the Jivatma, integral part of Paramatma. And then there is the third category, karam, akaram, vikaram, prohibitive actions. Anything which is anti-dharma, there are prohibitive actions. We just read on the sidelines Maharaj's own words, कि धर्म को मत तोड़ो, क्योंकि धर्म को तोड़ोगे तो then there is a great punishment. We may not come back in this form and shape for many million years. So be very mindful that whatever we do on a daily basis, this wisdom should be applied. So your intent and motive will decide the quality of your action, and those actions are categorized into three categories: action, karam, akaram, and vikaram. So we did three things. In 5 minutes, I will want to finish the other two parts. Kim tat brahma, kim adhyatmam, kim karma purushotmam, adhibhutam, kim proktam. What is adhibhut? Adhibhut is perishable body. All elements with which our body is made, that is called adhibhut. So they are changing. Don't attach to that Don't attach to that, because they are changing elements. We identify people, our relationships are all based upon the visible body. If the guy becomes sick or frail, immediately we change our mind about that individual. But don't do that. Body is changeable. See inside. Your relationship should be based on the inside, not outside. Outside is perishable, changeable. So, kim tad brahma, kim adhyatmam, kim karm purushot, adibhutam, kim adidevam, kim uchate. Adidev is Paramatma, Jivatma, जिसका नाश नहीं होता, उसको अधिदेव कहते हैं. उसके साथ create bonds, sacred bond with that divine energy. And it is within us. It is within us. But we don't see in that direction. We have the faint information. We have heard many times during our lifetime. But we never made any sincere effort and put investment of time to know that, to connect that divine power. Once that happens, you attain, जिसको मुक्ति कहते हैं, ईश्वर के चरणों में बैठ जाना, एनर्जी के साथ जुड़ जाना. And if you don't believe me, the evidence is Swami Hariharji Maharaj. We spent a lot of time with that great divine power, and we are the eyewitness. We saw that miracle. He was a human being, but each and every iota of his body was the expression of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So let us pray to Almighty Bhagwan Sri Krishna that give us the wisdom, the strength and courage. It is never late. 1,000-mile journey starts with one step. Let us take one step. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev.
Thank you so much, Kapil Sahib. Karma, karma and vikarma. This is the topic of the air that we need to know as much as we can. And Dr. Prasadji has been talking about karma, karma and vikarma for the last few weeks. Since I have taken 5 extra minutes, so Dr. Prasad, you can take extra 5 minutes today. Sorry, because usually. So now I request Prasadji to please.
Thank you very much, Joshi-ji. Thank you very much indeed. Let us start with a prayer. Vansi vibhushita karan navnir davat pitambara darunabimba phaladharosta Purnendu sundara mukhat arvinda netrat Krishnat param kimapi tattvamaham na jane Sthavaram jangamam vyaptam Yata kinchit sacharacharam Tatpadam darshitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Yes, for quite few weeks we have been talking about this verse 18 of chapter 4. As you know, this is the key verse of this chapter, chapter 4, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. How, with the full knowledge of
jnana, one is able to get rid of the bad effects of karma and give up, karma sannyasa. We have been talking about the main philosophy impregnated in this verse, that is to see inaction and action in inaction. Karma mein akarm or akarma mein karma. Yes, we have been going through this for quite a few weeks, but last week, Guru Bhai Sri Joshi ji mentioned that while it has been understood fairly well what is karma in akarma, but as regards action in inaction, it is not that clear. And I take that blame on my way of explaining. Maybe I was not explicit about it. The other part is that this is the most difficult of all activities that a sadhak can take. But let me go through the whole thing again and again, maybe. Because if we understand this really, as Bhagavan has said, you become Brahmagyani. So why not we repeatedly look deep into this aspect and really get it into our, assimilate within ourselves the real matter contained in that, and then we practice. Coming to inaction, this part is the sadhaka can go ahead and take action. It is not that difficult, because if you're on the path of spirituality, you already have some sort of purity in your mind. If you have that purity in the mind, it is not difficult to assimilate this part. And this is explained in two ways. One is that you look at the play of mind, senses, and sense objects. In our body, we have the mind, which is the central part controlling the whole system. Information from outside coming in, getting effect of Paramatma or Atma with the having its impact on Atma. So there are two things which it connects. So it is the central part, central junction, you can say. Now, what is the play of mind with sense and sense objects? We all know that the objects from the world, our senses get attached. Once our senses get attached, then it sends information to mind, and depending upon the mind composition, it will accept or not accept. But if one is trained enough, or one trains himself, first thing, he does not allow the object to reach the senses or disturb the senses. Then you are not affected. Second stage, if you do not allow your mind to be affected by the impact of information from senses, and the core thing in that is what is called sangha or attachment or desire. So once you allow all the desires to not disturb your mind, if your mind is attached to the self or Brahma, then all the desires entering the mind will be repulsed. So, Prajahati jada kaman sarvan partmanogatan, all the desires which is coming to affect the mind, if one is able to renounce that, then he is the pragya, he is united with Brahma. And that he can do if he is allowing his mind or his self to be with the self. That is Atmanye Atmanatusta. This one verse, if we concentrate on that and act accordingly, you are able to see karma in action. All the actions are going place, but you are seeing in action. You will not be affected. The positive or negative results of that karma will not be impinging upon you. That's one thing. That is, you are dealing with the objects and senses and mind. So there is one part. Other part is a difficult part. That is, you take naiva kinchit karomiti. I am not the doer. And this one can do if we always keep in mind, always aware that it is the consciousness that provide all the powers to the organ. सारे कर्म होते हैं, लेकिन उस कर्म करने के लिए जो whatever powers you have, it is for Bhagwan, it is not me. So मैं नहीं करता हूँ. I am not the doer. That is not easy thing to do. But if we try to, whenever you perform any action, मैंने नहीं किया, भगवान ने किया. It is the power of God who has done it. I have not done it. So do not take responsibility for the action. Taking that I am not the doer, if you perform, again, that is inaction. Actions are being done, but you are not having the impact of that. That is inaction. You will not be affected. Now, coming to the other part, action in inaction, a karma me karma. This is a difficult thing to understand, but I will try to explain in a way which is understandable. That last week I talked about a saint in the Himalayan cave, and I showed you a picture of that saint in the cave also. So if you see, take the example of a sadhaka by the lake. Now there is a lake and a sadhaka who is contemplative. He has got a lot of thoughts in his mind. He has heard a lot of discourses, and he is sitting by the bank of a lake and observing water is very still. He's looking at the water, and what he is seeing there, that there is a shadow of a tree full of fruits. A tree full of fruits is by the side of the lake, and the shadow is on the water surface of that lake. He is seeing that cloud is going, and cloud has passed on from the surface. He is seeing that on the surface of the lake water. He is seeing that birds are flying, and the picture of that bird, the flock of bird going, picture he is seeing on that. He is sitting idle. He is not doing anything. So he is akarma. In a way, he is not performing action. But he is observing things going on. He may feel like taking that fruit out of that tree, and he can go and try to pluck that fruit from the tree on surface of water. What happens? His hands get wet. So while on one side, he is saying that the fruits are there on the surface of lake water, but he is not able to catch it. So all these thoughts are going on in his mind. So and he is trying to understand the Advaita Bhav, which is reflecting on the surface, which is creating Dvaita. That there is the surface of water is clean and nice and still and quiet. Nothing is there, like clean mind. And in that mind, that activities are not being seen by activities not taking place, but it is going on in his mind. So the activities are in the mind, but the person is quietly sitting by the lake and observing all the phenomena. So also for case of a painter on his canvas, or water on a writer on the desk, he's thinking. So these are the still moments. So these are the still moments, that physical moment of cessation. Physically, he is not making any movement, but activities are taking place in the mind. So there is a karma in karma. Karma is not fully, activity is not seen, but in the mind it is happening. Now, the question is, who is observing that phenomena? That phenomena which is going on in the mind of a sadhaka, who is observing? Is that sadhaka observing? Or is there some other observer? The subject and object relationship. Everything is object in the world. There is nothing beyond Brahma. Brahma is the supreme subject, and object is everything. So something is there, which is the Brahma, who is looking at the activities going on in the mind of the individual. So the activities which is there in the mind has to be, there has to be an observer. The beautiful example is that of Arjuna. Arjuna was sitting at the back of seat of the chariot, and he was in deep sorrow. Soka sambigna manasa. He had thrown his, so he was in complete inactivity. There was inactivity so far Arjuna position was concerned, was sitting there, thrown his arrows, but in the mind, lot of activities going on in his mind. And that is the reason why Bhagavan says, Pudastva kasamalamyam visame samupasitam anarjustam aswarga, all kinds of things. Because who was observing that? It was Bhagavan. Bhagavan was observing the activities that was going on in the mind of Arjuna, and that activity Arjuna was having in the mind. He was physically inactive. That is inaction, akarma, in karma. Karma mein akarma, that is shown over there. Now, looks like the time is the, I'm still in the middle of it. Can I let?
Yeah, 5 more minutes.
Okay. Let me get this karma in karma. So what is happening during the physical still movement of Arjuna? Mind was undergoing activities. Who was the observer? The observer was Bhagavan. That is clearly mentioned in Mundak Upanishad, which I often refer to, when it says higher bird and the lower bird. There is a tree and there is the higher bird. The higher bird is Atma, that is consciousness, that is supreme consciousness, that is witness consciousness, which is sitting quiet there, just observing. That observer in us is that Atma. And what happens? The Jiva tries to go from one to the other bird, running from one branch of tree to another branch of tree, and trying to take some fruit from there, tasting good, is happy, tasting bad, he throws away, gets fed up. And after getting fed up, he starts looking up there. There is another bird there. I am running here and there. What is happening? I am getting sometimes happy, sometimes unhappy, but there is another bird higher up. That bird is sitting quiet there. So this bird gets into it that there's no need, contemplating, that is going in the mind of the bird, that this is no more useful for me. Sometimes it is happiness, sometimes unhappiness. Let me imitate the higher bird, go near it. But then suddenly that bird sees a beautiful ripe fruit, red fruit, and gets attracted towards it. So that bird is now sitting at one place, now having two things in his mind, whether to remain involved in the world or again go towards that ripe fruit and go and get involved again in this. This activity, who is observing? The observer is Brahma. Observer is that supreme Brahma, that is Atma in that. So the activity, though this bird is not moving, this bird is just contemplating. That contemplating mind of this bird, observer is higher up. Observer is one which is perched higher up, and that is the consciousness which is taking note of this and reacting and giving this lower bird chance to come near it and be one it. There is another beautiful verse there in Keno Upanishad. Om Kene Sitam Patati Presitam Manaha. So these are the activities which are not seen, but it is observed by that supreme power. The activity of Arjuna was observed by Bhagwan. So one who has the capacity to observe can detect action in inaction. In action में action देखना, this is higher knowledge, the knowledge of Brahma. Those who are Tattvavita, those who are well established in Brahma, they are themselves able to observe the activities which are going on in the mind. So you can see the Brahmagyani, when they are in a state of samadhi, they are in that stage where he's observing all his activities and will not allow any action to take place which will cause any harm to that individual. So we have two things. One is akarma me karma, and other is karma me akarma. So we have understood now that there is action in action, and there is inaction in actions. All the actions taking place, he is away from it. He is trying to avoid contact with the sense objects and think that he is the non-doer. This is the action in action in inaction. And other is when he is considering himself to be the observer, having got that level of knowledge, that of Brahma, he is a Brahmagyani, able to observe all the activities going on, although he is not that active. I think this clarifies the position.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I will show you this picture next week to further clarify about this consciousness business. So I had kept this slide, but I will show you this again next time to again make this point further clear. Thank you very much.
We need that. We will need it.
Yes, I will do that. I will do that.
Thank you very much, everyone. We'll see most of you on Sunday. We are going on very, very well. This karma, karma. Once known, life has taken the right direction. So thank you so much, Prasadji. You are working very, very hard to get it done. Thank you again. Same as the thanks to Kabul Sahib, a perennial dedicated devotee of Bhagavad Gita and Gurudev. Thank you very much. Jai Shri Krishna. And to Geeta Kiranji, all your platform that you are working for. Thank you. And we cannot do anything without Brother Peter. He has to begin. His voice inspires us. Thank you.
Jai Shri Krishna.
All
Jai
the
Shri Krishna.
blessings.
See you on Sunday.
Sunday is Chinese New Year. See you on Chinese New Year.
See you next year. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai
Yes,
Shri
it is now.
Jai Shri Krishna.